Askreddit thread. If you could be shown a stat from your life when you die, what would you want to know about yourself? How many times I erased the correct answer in a multiple choice exam only to put down a wrong answer instead? How many people found me attractive? I think it's pretty depressing either way. Either it's a low number and that sucks, or it's a high number and there are tons of missed opportunities. My ending, give a penny, take a penny balance. McDonald's will owe you a McDouble on your deathbed. How many times I almost died? It would be cool to see if some guy in his car thought about running you over, or the troubled kid in your school nearly stealing his dad's gun. Road mortality rate in my country is so high that maybe I'm avoiding death or serious injury at least once per week. How often I made a person smile? That's a good one. How many girls secretly wanted to have sex with me? You sure? Imagine it. Girls you slept with, 6. Girls who would have slept with you, 8,452. That would be a depressing stat. But how many of those 8,452 would he want to sleep with? That's the best follow-up question I've ever seen. 6. How many people masturbated to the thought of me? I'll add 1 to that count. Yeah, that's something I want to know too. But it would be probably pretty depressing if it ended up being 0. If you're a girl and you're not a 110, chances are most likely. Guaranteed 1, unless you think of 2 completely different people while masturbating. How many lives I've made a positive impact on? How many times I've masturbated at what ages? Would probably be a very interesting graph. If you hadn't absolutely destroyed the graph at age 13. The amount of times I said something stupid and people didn't notice. The amount of times someone was thinking what I thought they were thinking. What percentage of my potential did I unlock? More like CLGs. If you were to combine all the poop that I've ever taken throughout my life, would it be greater than the Great Wall of China? Where are you hiding it? Oh, that's from a Robot Chicken episode. Distance walked/ran. I think we'd truly be amazed by how far we actually went on foot. Alternatively, number of steps taken. How many lies people have told to me, and be able to see what they were. How many hours I could have spent being productive. Redditor for 3 years. How many guys have jacked off to me? You can easily increase the stat by posting to a particular sub. Now, how does chat roulette tie into statistics? KDA ratio, 0-1. Total CO2 produced in comparison to everyone else, like a leaderboard of sorts. Total fucks given. Amount of liquid left on top lip from drinking from a cup. Hopefully, it will all have evaporated by then. How many times I've laughed out loud, and if I get a bonus stat, how many times I've made others do the same. Amount of money wasted on ATM/debit fees. How many lies I told separated by who I told them to. How much joy did I bring to the people and animals I love, compared to how much pain? I hope the joy outweighs the pain. Mostly depends on whether your dog was Colby. Oh my god, that's gross. Colby is this inside joke on Reddit about... just Google Colby Reddit story. It's gross. Total net income. How many nets do you plan on buying? How close, length, time, etc. I was to not dying. At the beginning, you were really far, and then just before you died, it got really close. How many Easter eggs/total I found, Illuminati and such. How many boners I wasted. How much money I spent on pizza. In my lifetime, I could have at least over a $10,000 worth. Yeah, that's 10,000, right? I once had a pizza that cost me $60 for 3 slices. What? Holy shit, that pizza better been made with Jesus' semen for $60 for 3 pieces. Children unknowingly fathered. How many girls had a crush on me? Names and pictures of girls that were secretly in love with me. I work at a fairly popular coffee shop. Okay, it's a very popular coffee shop. I've been at it for quite some time, and I've always wanted to know my lifetime stats on drinks I've made. Like how many shots of espresso pulled or most made drink. I would probably have reached max level barista by now. Lifetime spent watching progress bars. How many potential relationships I could have had. Pieces of bacon consumed. How much shit I made. I will only answer this if you prove you're not Rob Schneider. I have no Filipino in my family. How many times I've made someone feel good. In any sense, I'd like to end on a positive note. If you wanted to be someone, die at the hands of the serial killer. That'll make them feel good. How much of my life of me truly happy compared to the amount of time being depressed and anxious? Number of original thoughts had, or number of times you said a completely original sentence that nobody said before, and what these sentences were. How everyone I knew would rate me on a scale of 1 to 10. How many times I've masturbated compared to the average human. I feel like I do that too much. The amount of brain cells I've lost in life. How many people I've helped make happy. Exactly when and where I contracted the common cold. How many times people lied to me and what the lies were, be it good lies or bad lies. How many people will miss me. Number of potential deaths avoided. How many lives touched in a large, positive manner. How much time did I spend playing MMOs? Ooh, that's probably a big one for me. Per day average of fun generated. How much of my life I spent happy? Preferably in seconds, so the number seems really huge, and I'd be incredibly hard for me to quickly compare it and start thinking, but that means I spend this much time unhappy. Just a nice reminder before I cease to exist. You were happy. Your life wasn't wasted. How many times I almost died but didn't? It's got to be like 30-ish by now. I have ridiculous luck to compensate for my losses in the genetic lottery. A nice pie chart of good versus bad decisions I have made and can go through each decision with a detailed summary. If I made bricks of every poop I ever pooped out and built a 6-foot-high wall out of the bricks, how long could I make the wall? Robot chicken joke. How many lives I've helped. Total experience gained. This would be a follow-up with a character creation screen. How many beans I inadvertently ended as a result of the butterfly effect and going through my day-to-day life, making choices as willy-nilly as I tend to do. How many people whose lives I had affected in a positive way. This one comes up a lot. Well, I think it'd be interesting to find out how much I've eaten, for example. Dre003 has eaten 1,000 pieces of bacon, 1,000 pieces of ribs, 1,000 hams, etc., which is X amount of pigs. I play a weird game with myself. I get a point for every car that I pass while holding my breath. I lose a point for every time I don't. If I pass 2 cars, I get 2 points for the second car, 3 for the third, and so on. I'd like to see my total score for life. How many times I made someone laugh. How many times I've made someone laugh. I try at least once a day. Oh, this one comes up a lot. Amounts of beer I drink. If I built a wall of poop, number of lives improved by me living mine. If the number is greater than 0, I can be happy. How many people loved me, and how my love for them compared in terms of capacity and completeness. I would be nice to know I didn't squander the most precious thing in life, and that I gave back what was given to me, or to know I hadn't, so I could make some changes for the next go-around. How often I was right versus wrong. My kill-death ratio. How many partners I've had. Can't remember. Number of times I've masturbated. Number of times I've masturbated. How many bytes of memory I had armenizated in my brain at the time of death. Faps a day. How many times I had sex. Trueness to self-stat. The number of times I've made a positive difference in one's life. The grades I could have gotten if I took school seriously. How many times I've seen every post and my eye twitched. How many times I've managed to piss off. How many people I've managed to piss off. Ooh, this is a unique one. This is like the only one that wasn't if I've made a positive difference in someone's life, which came up a lot. Alright, this is going to be a relatively short video compared to the rest of them. Very low in comments, and I kind of skipped the ones that actually had comments.